I'm assuming it's live, so let's see. If I can get it to set up. Okay, I guess. What? All right. Hey, Heaven's Essentials. I'm glad you are here today. And today we're going to do something, or not we, I guess I. But I figured you may want to watch. Hey, how's it going? You guys may want to watch this, or maybe not. So I'll go ahead and tell you real quick what it is, so that you can decide if you want to watch or not, or watch the replay or whatever. Good morning. So have you heard of heat transfer making cold processed soap? If so, good. Maybe you can help me. If not, then we can learn together, because if you guys have seen any of my other videos, and I know most of you guys have, then I typically do traditional cold processed soap, and I also do hot processed soap. And but I'm the most impatient soap maker, I think. So that's the only thing to me that kind of takes up time, is I have to know that I have to try and get down so I can get in frame here. You know, you have to plan ahead. So you have to know you're going to make your lye water and go ahead and get everything ready. And then it usually takes a couple hours for your lye water to cool down, and the whole process, you know, unless you master batch your stuff, it can take several hours out of your day to actually prepare your soap batter mixture. So I've heard of this years ago, and but I've always been paranoid and scared to do it, because I'm like, well, what if it doesn't work? And what if I have not done this? I probably, yeah, I love hot processed soap, but I'll do cold process as well. But this, okay, so what heat transfer cold processed soap is, if you don't know, and I'm gonna have to hurry up and do it, is you make your lye water, okay? So you want your lye water to be really hot. And obviously it is already, so you don't have to do anything. You just mix your lye water, and then you have your oils and butters, or whatever your mixture is of oils and such. So I use lard, coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil. So lard and coconut oil are my two hard oils. So as you can see, they are solidified. And normally what we would do, obviously, is we would melt all this down. Usually make good soap, but I've not done it on this occasion. Okay, so, I'll have to read that back in a second, sorry, because I'm trying to hurry with this. But the heat, I've lost my train of thought, sorry. Typically what we do, you know, is we melt all this until it is completely melted and all incorporated, and you don't have lumps and chunks of solids in here. And you take that, let it come to somewhat room temperature, you know, anywhere between 80 and 90 degrees, whatever. And then you take the same temperature lye water, lye mixture, and you add it to that, and you make your soap. Well, with heat transfer, what you do is, I did not melt these. You can see that there's still chunks and lumps in there, like those descriptions, of my solids, my lard and my coconut oil. And so what I'm gonna do is, my lye water is, let me see, oh crap, oh here it is, my heat gun. It is a hot mess in here, if you can tell behind me. It's just been messy trying to get caught up after Christmas. Okay, my lye water is at 206 degrees Fahrenheit, so I need to go ahead and do it, because normally it's like 216 when I first mix it. Let me stir it real quick. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to count on my lye water, the heat from my lye water, to melt all my oils together. Now, in all honesty, I just did this a few minutes ago. I didn't do my very first one on camera, but so this will be my second time doing it, so I am by no means know what I'm doing. And like I tell you guys in other videos, always do your eyeglasses, or goggles, gloves, and whatnot. But like I've said, I don't always do that, and so but you take your own safety precautions. But I'm gonna take my lye water, and I'm just gonna pour it straight in. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'm just pouring it straight in, and I'm not gonna stick blend it. What I'm going to do is, I'm just gonna stir it, and that's what I did last time just a minute ago. So I'm just going to take this and stir it, because get where you can see it. I can't get my camera any further back or above me. I don't know how, because my wall is right there, so I can't put y'all further back, so you're kind of right up on me. But I don't know if you can kind of see. Please wear goggles. I never do. I know you got lye in your eye. It's not been. Yeah, I know. I've actually had splashed on me too. I know. I really should do better. I will try and make that one of my New Year's resolutions, is to actually be better about it, but not today because I don't have any in here. Let's see. Okay. And you are right. It's very, I mean, and once you get lye in your eye, you can flush it and everything, but it can cause damage. I mean, you could even go blind, obviously, if you got an excessive amount. And obviously working with just your lye water is more potent than once it's mixed in here. I mean, obviously this is active lye in here, but it's obviously diluted down with all your oils. So if it splashed up on you, it would be bad and it would burn you, yes, but not like if you were to get a straight lye solution on you, obviously. But anyway, so what I'm hoping to do with this, my goal is to just make it easier, like, because I stay so busy, and as y'all know, we're doing that storefront, and so that's taking up a lot of time. You're still on steroid drops, doctor said. Very lucky. Yeah, you are very lucky, and I should wear goggles. Yeah. So, but thank God for steroid drops. Some of those things, steroids are like a miracle drug, but the problem is, even though they do wonders, being on any kind of steroid, whether it's a drop, something topical or oral, long period of time can cause problems too. I mean, steroid drops for your eyes should be fine, but anytime we take anything, we don't want to take it for a long period of time. So yes, I should wear my goggles. I need glasses anyway, actually, so I need to probably go get my eyes checked, get glasses, and get some to like wrap around to the side. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's melting nicely, and to feel the side of it, you can feel heat off of them in 2 weeks. So girl, at least you'll be off of them in 2 weeks, and thank goodness you're not going to have any like long-term effects, because I mean that would be tragic, especially something so preventable like somebody like me doing this, like taking that chance. And I guess because we all get complacent and you think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, but all it takes is that one time, and it happens. Like I said, I have had it splash up on my face, and luckily I just flushed it, and it was fine. But yeah, because it would be a shame to be just doing something like this and end up losing vision in one eye. I miss that. I think you said you've been a soap maker for 20 years. Yeah, and it doesn't matter whether you've been doing it for 20 years or 5 years or 1 month. It could happen, right, at any given time. And okay, so I ordered a bunch of fragrance oils. I spent like $400 on fragrance oils coming from Aztec Candles, Aztec's company, Aztec Soap and Candles or something like that. I've never ordered from them before, and so considering I spent like $400, I hope they are good fragrance oils and that they, smell good and have good scent retention. All the reviews were good, but you never know. It could be the company writing their own reviews, I don't know. But I don't know if any y'all have ever bought from Aztec Soap and Candle. I think my order should come in next week, and when I get it in, I can show you guys what all I ordered. I ordered a bunch of stuff, like, I don't even know, I can't remember, but I think it was like 17 bottles of fragrance oil, because I'm getting low on all of mine. Like, I'm getting low on my basic ones that I always use, so I needed some. And I hope did y'all have a good busy Christmas? Apparently, like, retail wise, this was the busiest December, like, for the record. But I didn't really notice my business being that much busier. I mean, I was busy, but I actually ran out of stock. So like the last 2 or 3 weeks of December, I couldn't really sell anything because I didn't have inventory, which sucks. Because I could have made a little bit more money, obviously, if I would have had. You can't sell what you don't have, so I just had not had the time because we had just been so busy. But so that was unfortunate. But I hope y'all had a good, successful holiday season, because I know that's like our season, like Christmas time is our time. I gotta find my stick blender. And where is it? Hang on just a second. Where did I put it? Okay, so I have no idea where I put my stick blender. I've got the actual blender, but where the heck? This shows you how messy my place is. Oh, I'm sorry. Where in the world? Oh, here it is. I didn't see it. It was stuck in a big jug of water, if you can see that. It was like I had my spoons. Sorry, I had my spoons and stuff all stuck in water. And that's where my stick blender was. I didn't see it. Sorry. Alright, so I'm just stick blending this. And, okay, so temperature-wise, let me tell you what temperature is. 105. So we are at basically where we would be had we done it the traditional way. Melting our oils, letting it cool, making our lye, letting it cool. Usually, you know, between 80 and 100 degrees, 80, 90 degrees, somewhere in there. And I do use goat milk as well, but I just did lye water with that, and I'm about to add my goat milk here. And you know, that will cause the temperature to go up because of the sugars. So, adding that in. So, it'll probably go up a little bit, which isn't a big deal, because I'm going to use black raspberry vanilla fragrance oil, which to me tends to slow down trace a little bit. Let me find it. I always think I'm prepared and I'm not. I'm sorry. I just literally decided just to hop on live real quick because I just got out of the shower and put a little bit of makeup on, and I was in the middle of making soap, and so I was like, well, now's the time to turn on the camera, because before I had a shower, it was just, you know, I just needed a shower. So I felt a little bit better about coming on camera. And if I don't do it when I just say I'm gonna do it, then I just don't ever do it, I guess, because I, you know, don't ever feel confident in the front of the camera, which is so stupid, I guess, you know, because like y'all don't care what I look like or whatever. At least when I watch people making soap, I don't care what they look like, if they've had a shower or not, it's like, whatever. I just want to know the information. So we are now all emulsified in, and it's nice and thick. Let's see, we are at 113 degrees since we added the goat's milk, so I figured it was going to go up a little bit just because of the goat milk. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil. Maybe that'll cool it down a little bit. Just because that's at room temperature. I don't know. May not make a difference. But anyway, if I can get this working, like doing it this way, this will save me time and hassle. So I thought y'all might want to know about that, in case you're like me and kind of impatient. But you know, some people are very good planners and they plan ahead and make their oils and lye water the night before. That's just not me. I do it like the morning of, and then it irritates me because I have to wait for my lye water to cool. So, all right, it is nice and emulsified, if you can see. I know y'all want to see this, not necessarily me. There. Okay. So you can see that it is at a pretty good, it's not really trace, it's like a light trace. So I just want to make sure it's nice and emulsified. And we are at 114 degrees, so it really didn't change the temperature. But I do need to add, I do pink and black for my colors on this. I'll move this to the side so you can see. I use activated charcoal and then 2 mixtures on my mica, like 2 different pinks. I don't remember what pinks they are, but like a pink slipper and something else. And don't need that much black. I always think I need more black than I do. If you ever work with activated charcoal, you know what I mean. Like, you don't need as much as you think you do. A little bit in a recipe goes a long way. All right, so that is good, and I like to get every bit of my little fragrance oil out of there. Okay, so let's see. We're at 115 degrees. So I'm going to kind of put that one to the side. I'll do my pink first. More sense. And sometimes I don't think about it, and I stick my stick blender in the darker color first. You know, go from light to dark. And one thing good about using clear containers when you do this is you can see if you have any mica at the bottom that did not get blended in, so that you can get it. And if not, then I'll just use like a spatula at the end and like make my last bit a little darker. It's no big deal. Doesn't have to be anything to be stressed about. It's one thing I learned a while back is this should be relaxing and enjoying hobby. You know, if it gets to be stressful, then you worrying about it too much. As far as stuff like that, obviously safety stuff, yes, but not colors and stuff. I mean, come on, it's not that big of a deal. I do try to plan out my colors, but a lot of times they don't always turn out exactly how I want them to. Thicker than it usually is, just giving y'all comparison, like when I do it regular cold process soap, and I'm assuming just because of the temperature difference. Let's see, I'll tell y'all where we're at. 111, 114, and 106. So doing the heat transfer appears to be really, like, why not? I've been seriously paranoid about doing it for like years. I haven't tried it for years, and that's so stupid. So I guess because I didn't want to waste time, money, and materials and all that stuff, so I was scared to try it. But so this is an example of one of those times where, like, just go ahead and try it. There must be something wrong with my eyes. I can't take them off of you. Well, that's because we're making some soap here. All right, so let's see. All right, so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do an in the pot swirl. So we've got this, which is just our base. I didn't add anything to it as far as color wise. It does have the fragrance added to it, but no color. And now we've got our pink that we're going to add. And so I don't really have a fancy way to do the in the pot swirl, but when it gets nice and thick like this, it makes your colors they're not going to like blend together too much where it gets all mottled. You can get a pretty good differentiation between all your different colors. So let me see. We'll do pink there, and there's really no rhyme or reason for pouring it, just kind of go wherever. And I'm not going to use it all, actually. And you can tell how much, maybe you can tell, it's like a little bit thicker. It's like almost like a pudding, which is kind of thick. For how it normally is with this recipe, with this fragrance oil. Okay. And now let me move this way, like that. And I'm just gonna pour this straight in here. There's a fly in here that just in my face. Alright, so that's, you can tell how thick it is, I hope. I don't know if you can or not, but it actually is blending together, like the colors are blending together a little more than what I thought they were going to, which is not a big deal. I don't really mind how it turns out as far as how that is. I just prefer it when it's a little bit more separate. I don't know, you won't be able to see it. I'll lift it up in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to add more pink so that maybe doing it this instead of in the pot, it'll give it a little bit more definition. And I'll show y'all when I cut this how much more, it's like black. I didn't use that much black, but you can see it's like it almost becomes like a dominant color because it's so dark. But it's just you need way less than what you think you do. Even this was probably twice what I really needed. But I do that every time. I think I don't need much, and then I pour, let's say I used probably like 2/3 of a cup. I don't know, maybe half a cup or 2/3 of a cup. And it's still probably more than what I needed. Probably like 1/4 of a cup is probably all I needed on that, but I need a spatula. I did have one ready. And now I'm just gonna get all the extra out of here. I'm trying to hurry because I don't want it to like get too hot. Because that was my fear with making this, was I was worried it would just get so hot it would actually start to turn into like, you know, hot processed soap. And I was worried about that because I thought, well, if it heats and it starts to heat as it's saponifying and starts to heat because I added milk, especially if you're starting at a higher temperature, then I didn't want it to like actually volcano out of my mold, you know, which can happen if it gets hot. But I do put all of my soaps in the refrigerator for 24 hours, sometimes 12 hours, but usually it's 24 hours. I let them sit in the refrigerator. And if I'm busy, then they'll sit in there longer, which isn't a big deal. But you do have to let them come to room temperature to cut them. At least I do, because I don't want to like ruin my wire cutter. And I have my air on because it's like, I don't know, it's hot today. And I hope you can hear me okay. I didn't see some comment, I'm sorry. Okay. And then I usually just do like a swirl on the top of these, and they're about the same. I just eyeball my amount. I don't measure. I know some people measure to get it exact, but I just eyeball it, and it's usually pretty close. So let's see. I'm gonna do. I'm trying to concentrate, so I can't talk. Sorry. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, seeing the process done, because I didn't have anybody to ask about it. I mean, I'd read about it, but I didn't have anybody that I knew that had done it or seen anybody do it. And I'm sure there's videos actually, but to somebody that may be more informative on doing this. Heat transfer, cold process soap, I guess that's what it's called. Because you're using the lye heat to melt your oils. All right, let's see. Sorry if I'm missing y'all's comments, sorry. Okay, I think I got most of it. Sorry, I'm like OCD about that. Not really, that's kind of extreme to say that, but like I like to get it all. Oh shoot, I forgot, this is my mold that's broken. Like the bottom of it, crap. It's two pieces. I'll pick up this one to show you, but like the bottom part of the other one, I meant it needs to be nailed back on, so I can't tap this one because the bottom comes off. I forgot. Shoot. That would make a hot mess if I spilled it. That would be bad. So I gotta remember that that one has no bottom basically. I mean, it has a bottom, but the bottom is non-functioning because it falls off. Okay, so I'm gonna go beside it, maybe. And I hope you can see, not that there's much to see, kind of see. This is not very exciting, but I need to clean my soap shed so bad. I just, golly. I don't know if y'all's soaping spaces gets messy like mine does, but like gets discouraging, honestly, all the stuff I need to do. And I'll come back and look at comments after I'm finished if you guys have any comments. I will come back and read them. It's just I can't read and do this, obviously, since I don't have eyes on my head. Okay, so that's that. Okay, I always use this thing to do my swirls. Mine looks like a hot mess when I'm, yeah, I know, mine does too. I just get stuff everywhere. But then the problem is I never want to like clean it up. I just procrastinate on it. All right, I'm assuming, I know y'all probably can't see very good. Whoops, shoot, I'll lose my phone if I move it too much. Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna do a little swirly swirl. Show y'all the end result here in just a minute if I can get my phone off the thing to show you. Okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna keep messing with it, but it's pretty warm. Oh, check the temperature for y'all. 108 in the mold with the heat transfer method. So I don't know if you have any questions while I'm right here and can look at it. So that would be helpful. That maybe I didn't think about telling you while I was doing this. Any questions on it at all? Probably not much to ask. You probably already know. But, oh, well, thank you, dear. I appreciate it. Hopefully you can see it okay. It's, this is one of my best sellers, and y'all probably too. Black Raspberry Vanilla. And I get mine from Nature's Garden, and it's a good one. I don't know. It's kind of, it's probably not my favorite, but a lot of people like it. So we make it. And let's see. Well, I can't. Hopefully you can see. Not that it's like that fancy to look at it or anything, but it gives you an idea of. So I can shine something on it so you can see. I don't know. Anyway, that was a good seller for you. Yeah, it's always been a bestseller. Why did you stop selling? Just curious. Just stop doing it, or oh, wait a minute, it was health stuff? Wasn't there something health you had going on? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while, or if you can't remember, maybe you didn't tell me on a different video. All right. Whoops, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna put these in my refrigerator, and then I'll come back and I'll look at comments. That way, if y'all had any questions or anything, I can answer them. Not that, like, you know, I don't know anything except for what I just did, because like I said, this is only my second time ever doing heat transfer cold process soap. But I will definitely do it again, and maybe I will, after doing it, obviously, you know, things get better and you learn new tricks when you've done stuff more than a handful of times. So I hope you guys have a good Friday and a good weekend, and get some soap made if y'all are making soap. But anyway, and if y'all have any, how's my shop coming along? Slow. We haven't been up there in like 2 months because of Christmas time. But I think this week we're going to start working on it again, and I'll post some updates on that. But I did buy a sink. I got like a 3-compartment sink, stainless steel sink, huge. I got it on Craigslist or Facebook Market, I think, for, I don't know, I think like $100 or $150, somewhere in there. So really excited about that. It might be too big for my space, but for that price, if you've ever priced out those big stainless steel sinks, because it's got 3 compartments, plus it has like a ledge on both sides so that you can put stuff on it. I don't know, it's probably overkill, but I don't know, it's coming along good as far as me trying to get my ideas together. That's where I'm struggling, because like I don't want to make a mistake on the design of the store. So I just gotta plan it out and figure it out. And we've pretty much got everything pulled out. We just need to start putting stuff back in, so we got to get a permit next week, like an electrical permit and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll be posting some videos on that, because I'm really excited and you know, nervous at the same time though, because it's a big undertaking. So, because spent a lot of money on it up front, obviously, and haven't had to yet, except for getting a new roof. But now putting stuff back is going to be quite expensive, so that worries me, especially when I don't have any soap to sell, because I sold out. But you can tell back here I've got like 2 down there, and then these up here that I have made, which isn't much, but it's a start. And so every day I've been working hard trying to get soap made, 1 batch at a time. So hopefully I can sell to make some money to put into the store. you know the struggle. But anyway, have a good day, and I will post some videos next week. And if I do another heat transfer soap, I will post about that too. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.